Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I will be giving my commentary on a couple of different topics today, including the most recent updates in Sean Diddy Combs' federal case. And I also want to give you my commentary on an article written about Sunni Minx and published in the Huffington Post. Now, before we get into these topics, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. You hear us content creators ask you to do that all the time. Then YouTube will push this video out through its algorithm, recommending it to more people who enjoy discussing love and marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you as one of the showstoppers. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these stories are allowed. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I say that like a machine on nearly, I believe, every single video, but in any event, we're going to start off with Diddy. So there's quite a few updates. I know that you all are aware that he was arrested last night in New York on federal charges of racketeering and conspiracy, as well as sex trafficking charges. Very serious charges. We know that nearly a year ago, he settled with singer Cassie on charges relating to abuse, trafficking, and video footage from a hotel did resurface, showing where he beat her up in a hallway, threw a vase at her, kicked her in her stomach. And there's all sorts of updates, including an update relating to Cassie that I want to go over before we get into the article on Sunni Minx. All right. So first, I want to point out that Diddy has pleaded not guilty, which I think is crazy. So this is very quick, just pretty much a one sentence. Diddy pleads not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. And this is all coming from the Shade Room. In my opinion, I feel like with some people, when they're pleading not guilty and there's visuals, there's hardcore evidence, these are federal charges. The feds, by the time they arrest you, indict you, they've done their research, they have their case sealed tight. For you to plead not guilty, it's almost giving narcissism. Like you don't even see yourself as flawed. You see yourself as like superhuman and you cannot make any mistakes. And that's just immediately what I thought of when I saw the not guilty plea. And if you follow me on Instagram on my IG stories, I have this update as well. So there is a couple of more updates that I definitely wanted to share. So let's go here. So the judge in his federal case ruled that Diddy will remain detained until his trial. I would imagine that he's not going to go to trial anytime soon. First of all, the holiday season is upon us, and we have Thanksgiving 2.5 months away. I just don't see his attorney being able to prepare for his defense. And plus, there's going to be those breaks with the holidays. I'm pretty sure Diddy will try to make his attorney work around the clock. But again, I just don't see the case starting, the trial starting in the rest of this year, in this last quarter. And then I would imagine Diddy's attorney is going to want ample time to go through the case so that he can defend every single charge, every single accusation that the U.S. attorney is going to call Diddy out on. So I just don't see them going to trial anytime soon. So the fact that the judge ruled that he has to remain detained, I'm sure that's a huge blow to Diddy. His attorney does intend to appeal, but I think that the judge made the right decision. They're definitely being conservative about this. And if you watch the U.S. Attorney's press conference, it was right here on YouTube. I watched it on my lunch break today. They have so much evidence, not just about, their supplies for the freak offs, including, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. But also, there was evidence of them trying to give people who were involved in these freak offs stories to say if they were ever questioned, to throw investigators off. So, because everything was so elaborate, all of the evidence that the feds have gathered so far, the judge said, "Oh, he's definitely a flight risk. He may try to escape." That's what I'm guessing from the judge's words. So, they're definitely making him stay. And the magistrate is Judge Robin Tarnowski. And she said, in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted, so Sean Combs will be detained. She added there has been significant violence and weapons around. Also, coercion of witnesses, even gentle coercion, can be effective. The type of behavior we're talking about happens behind closed doors. I thank your family members for coming, but I cannot release him. The mogul must be in custody to await trial on sex trafficking and other charges. And his sons were present for his arraignment. And there's two more updates. So the federal agents, once they were able to retrieve his electronic devices, they discovered that Diddy contacted rapper Kalenna Harper at least 54 times following Dawn Richards' lawsuit. Now, if you've watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta over the years, you remember Kalenna was on Love and Hip Hop years ago. I want to say it was season 4, perhaps, and 5. Definitely before season 6. It was within those first 5 seasons, like season 4, season 5. She used to be friends with Rashida, and then they fell out. Well, Kalenna did rap. She was in Diddy's group, Dirty Money. And they had a successful tour. That was something that she, kept talking about on Love and Hip Hop. And her, bandmate was Dawn Richard, former band member of Danity Kane. And I'm sure that you may be familiar that Diddy formed the group Danity Kane from the reality TV show Making the Band from the early 2000s on MTV. Well, Dawn Richard filed a lawsuit claiming abuse and sexual abuse at the hands of Diddy, allegedly. And then Kalenna released a statement saying that she did not witness the things that were mentioned in the lawsuit. So now federal agents are saying that Diddy called Kalenna at least 54 times after Dawn Richards' lawsuit was filed. And then Kalenna came out with her statement. It has been reported that Diddy is very close friends with Kalenna's husband, but definitely I'm sure those 54 phone calls played a role in her statement as well. So I definitely wanted to give this update because especially with the judge talking about there's been coercion, even soft coercion, she has to acknowledge and address. That's why she's detaining him. I want everyone who is brave enough to speak out, Cassie, Dawn Richard, I want them all to remain safe. And so I think that this is very important to acknowledge, dozens and dozens of phone calls to a woman, a married woman at that, after the lawsuit was filed. And she definitely submitted. She gave in to that pressure and she released that statement saying that she didn't witness anything. And if you have been following Dawn Richards' lawsuit, then you know that she gave a very detailed description of them all going to a dinner one night. And seated at the table was Dawn Richard, Kalenna, Diddy, Cassie, Usher, and a music executive. And something happened between Diddy and Cassie. Diddy became angry, punched her in the stomach. Cassie is hunched over in pain and crying. And allegedly the singer Usher and the music executive, they just kept on eating, kept on going with the flow, business as usual. So Dawn Richards' lawsuit is definitely descriptive, vivid, detailed, and Kalenna says she didn't witness anything of the sort. So That could be the truth, but it's definitely disappointing because I don't think it's the truth, in my opinion. And here's part of Diddy's defense. So Diddy's lawyer is saying that Diddy's toxic relationships were mutual, and he is planning on detailing stories of the singer Cassie hitting Diddy in the head with a cell phone, trying to paint her as just as violent as him. And even if this is true, in my opinion, Cassie would have been defending herself. We can all agree that a man's physical strength is totally different from a woman's physical strength. I'm pretty sure Diddy weighs more than Cassie, and that's not even fat in terms of weighing more than her, that's muscle. And we've seen that hotel surveillance footage of him beating the crap out of her. So if she hits him in the head with a little cell phone, that's like throwing something at Shrek or the Incredible Hulk. Like it means nothing. So his lawyer's going to try and make it seem like Diddy was defending himself, which is really pathetic. But I wanted to give you all the heads up on his lawyer's defense. All right. And those are the Diddy updates that I wanted to share with you all. And so now I'm going to prepare to share with you the article for the Huffington Post, from the Huffington Post on Sunni Minx. I definitely it's just giving, staged and on purpose. And I definitely want to give my opinion on this. And it is very important that I actually also read it to you, because I really want you to get where the writer is coming from with this. Okay, so, and I just Googled Huffington Post, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and the article came up. It's dated just from yesterday, September 16th. And the headline is, Love and Marriage Huntsville is the messiest show you should be watching. What happens when a former reality TV producer joins the cast? A love triangle for the ages. And the byline, it is written by Michael Arsenault, guest writer. All right, so let's get started. So they have a picture of Destiny, not even a group picture of the cast or the core six. And it reads, it wasn't until I met Sunni Minx, the newest cast member of Love and Marriage Huntsville, that I questioned the potential risk of listening too much I'll Take Your Man themed R&B. It's not technically a compliment, but there is such an impressive level of villainy behind her joining the 8th season of Carlos King's popular series on OWN. Minx used to be, that's Sunni used to be a producer on LAMH, working specifically with cast member Destiny Payton, who at one point during her run on the Alabama-based show, dated a man named Moses. Payton said that Sunni became a personal friend as an extension of their working relationship. But when Sunni departed the production team, soon after, she started a relationship with Moses. And now Sunni and Moses are now not only married, but they have also joined the reality show. Their addition to the series has made the viewing experience feel like a reality TV adaptation of Moke and Steph's He's Mine. And if you can remember like 90s R&B, Moke and Steph was a short-lived R&B group. They sang, he's mine, you may have had him once, but I got him all the time. So that's what the writer is referring to. Much of that has to do with the fact that Sunni is so dismissive of Payton, or anyone else for that matter, feeling a way about her marrying Moses in spite of how she met him. In this current moment of reality TV, there is an abundance of drama and villain antics, but few rise to the occasion of this messy love triangle. During an interview on 100.3 The Beat in April, Sunni claimed that she met Moses through Payton while working on the show, but there was no kiki between she and Moses at the time. Now, I want to briefly pause there. I feel like Sunny has said repeatedly that she just kind of like saw Moses. And I believe, Destiny may have quickly introduced them, like, this is my boyfriend. But I wouldn't say that she met Moses while producing for Destiny. Like, it's just like a quick introduction. And then you think you're not even going to see that person again. It was definitely not a met and let's exchange numbers and keep in touch and be friends and follow each other on social media. I think it was just like a very surface, generic, Sunny, this is Moses, Moses, this is Sunny, in my opinion. Separately, during an appearance on Carlos King's Reality with the King podcast, Sunny said she attempted to inform Payton about her relationship with Moses by sending a text when things started to get serious. Now, we all remember this from the episode in the first half of season 7/8, when Carlos King held his kickoff live episode of his podcast show in Huntsville with Melody Cherie. What I noticed about this article is that it does not mention Melody Cherie or any of the core six or any other cast members. It really just talks about Sunny, Moses, and Destiny. But it references that live podcast show in Huntsville, but it does not say in Huntsville or, hosted by the lovely Melody Cherie. And I just find that to be very, very interesting. And then the article goes on to say, I reached out to her and I told her we need to have a conversation. This is Sunny speaking, of course. I said, call me. She texted me back, meaning Destiny texted Sunny back and said, hey, what's up? I said, well, I asked you to call me because I wanted to talk to her woman to woman. I reached out to her and told her I'm dating Moses and it's getting serious. She didn't respond and she didn't answer when I called her. Then the writer says, couldn't Sunny have sent Destiny a voice note about it at the least? Absolutely. And that is the writer's opinion. But I do want to note that Sunny did call her and she did not answer. And then she texts Destiny asking her to call her. She wanted to have that voice to voice exchange. And then the writer says, I initially found it odd that a former reality TV producer was doing press about a man she met on set. But when I learned the couple had an Instagram page, which lets you know the two are available for bookings, I understood their assignment. Now, in my opinion, that is not completely fair to Sunny and Moses. They were invited to Carlos King's live podcast show in Huntsville, Alabama. So it's not like they were just willy-nilly on their own doing a press tour, promoting their new romantic love as newlyweds. They were asked to join that podcast to kick off the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. But this article is being written as if they almost got married just to be able to do press bookings and join the show, and it's evidenced by their Instagram page. Lots of reality TV stars have in their bio how you can book them and get a hold of them or their team. That's normal. And it would just be foolish for them to be on such a popular reality TV show and not set themselves up for success on their social media pages. And the article goes on to say, unfortunately, there has yet to be a moment where Sunny has reflected on the opinions of some of her cast members and a big share of the LAMH audience to recognize she took the wrong approach here. Well, I have to disagree. Sunny has definitely reflected on the opinions of some of her cast members as well as the viewers. Sunny has gone live on Instagram several times. She has done interviews, including with Queen Sheba and Dustin Ross on Carlos King's YouTube channel. And she has even said, I hear what the viewers are saying. Some of you felt like I came in really hot at the podcast, but there were already people judging Moses and I and coming at us hot. So I was returning the energy. And of course, I'm paraphrasing. kick her off the show, bring her back in whenever he needs her. But I do feel like Carlos definitely favors her. And he promoted this Huffington Post article on his Instagram page. That was how I learned about it. And I said to myself, I was going to review the article and give my commentary on it. But I feel like it was definitely set up to uplift Destiny. And that's fine if that's what he wants to do. But I just find it odd, especially in journalism. The goal is to be balanced. And there's no mention of the rest of the cast members, the core six, or Melody Cherie, the creator of the show. And then the article closes out with, on the mid-season finale of the show, Sunni had the opportunity to offer Payton, if not, meaning Destiny, if not an apology, at the very least, a better explanation of what went down. But Sunni chose violence instead. I read that twice when I read the article. I said, where did she get violent? And it goes on to say, after Destiny highlighted that Sunni's timeline on how she and Moses entered a relationship was faulty, a fed up Sunni ultimately just said, it don't have to make sense. Destiny, I never considered you my friend. Then Sunni kept dismissing Destiny as one of Moses' many side chicks at the time. One cast member, Tisha Scott, had enough sense to say, I feel like what Sunni did is messed up. However, I prefer the way cast member Stormy Steele summed up Sunni's situation with Moses, and I'm going to paraphrase it. Why did you want him? Why did you want that in you? Because you knew that that was in Destiny, and for that, that's what I can't get with. So this person was definitely quoting some of the confessionals and some of that dinner scene that we saw when the ladies were in St. Thomas. Again, a producer befriends the cast member and ends up marrying the man of said cast member, used to date with no remorse. Then the producer does a media tour about it. Again, she was invited to the podcast show. And after that, proceeds to join the show where she originally met him, with his ex still there, with no shame. Based on the preview that aired at the end of the finale, it looks doubtful that Destiny will get her apology during the second half of the Love and Marriage Huntsville season, which returns November the 2nd. So the show returns in just 6.5 weeks. However, that same preview shows Moses making jokes about the entire situation, proving he was never worth all the damage to anyone's personal or professional reputation. So I do not believe that Sunni's professional reputation is stained or doomed. I mean, I literally just gave my commentary on updates in the Diddy case. I think that Sunni will be okay. We're even hearing, rumors of Jussie Smollett. He is acting. He will be appearing in a movie. I believe it will air on Tubi or Lifetime. I have to double check that, but I did hear that a few weeks ago. He has projects coming out as well. And, he tried to turn MAGA upside down when he made up that story. So if there's acting, if there's life after that for Jussie, I think Sunni marrying Moses won't really have an effect on her career. But I wanted to share this with you all. Do you think that this article was extremely slanted or geared to kind of paint Sunni in a negative light? What did you think about it? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. I always appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. Mine wasn't bad. I'm in my sweats because after work I logged out and I went for a walk outside, and then I went to the gym for a few to lift some weights on the upper body. And then I came home and, I prepared to make this content. So it's already going to be Wednesday. The week is already flying. I hope wherever you are, you have beautiful weather. We are having beautiful weather. The sun is out. When I walked outside in the evening, The sun was like beaming just enough, not where it was like super duper hot, but just warm on the skin. It felt great. And now it's going to be Wednesday, and we're all going to have a wonderful Wednesday. Whatever you do to center yourself, whether it's you say your prayers, or you like to journal, or shout out to Oprah and that gratitude journal, write down at least 5 things that you're thankful for. There's all sorts of blessings. Of course, we always think of our health, our employment, all of our needs being met, family and friends. But there's also that moment where, you did not get into a car accident, or perhaps something that you forgot to do got worked out just in time, or maybe something that was due at work, you were able to get it done, or maybe someone decided to like give you like some sort of discount or blessing at a restaurant, or while you're out shopping. It's all sorts of things, or maybe you saw like a beautiful dog or a butterfly or some pretty flowers. All that, focus on all of the good, and it can definitely make a difference. And I will talk with you all soon. Take good care. Bye.